Hello and welcome everybody. We have the global lab patch notes for June 12th, 2026. We're going to get right into it. So we have some small changes on Corsair Succession for PVE damage. So we, for example, have Raging Storm getting 200% up to 4,200 on both hits. Damage application going down to 28.5. Storm Surge going up a small amount to 3,156 on both attacks. Damage application going down to 50.9. The Swell skill going up a little bit to 5,180 for both the hit and wave strike. PvP application is going down to 25.14. This is definitely a mistranslation. Judging from the explosive damage, though, it's going from 10,760 to 11,352. PvP application only dropping by around 2% to 36.6. So this one might actually be a net positive in the end for PvP as well. Pouring waves, we're only seeing a small increase on the first hit and second hit with around 200 to 300% to 7,500 or almost 600 to and 10,100 with a PvP application of 31.3. So probably a small net gain here. The Moretta Feast of Dreams is going up by 300% to 3,800, 400% to 5,400 for the second and last hit. PvP application dropping by 3%. This one might be a net loss. Whale's Dream, 3,600 is going to 3,900. 9,100 is going to 9,700. PvP application is dropping by about 2%, so this one might be a net positive on the second hit damage. The Light Spray is going up from 8,700 to 9,100, and from 14,600 on the second hit to 15,300. PvP application is only dropping by about 1% to 23.75, so again, this might be a small PvP increase with the PvE increase. Veil Lips is going from 7,300 to 7,600. PvP application is going down 1%. This one might be more or less equal. Root Twisting is only going up by 75% on the initial hit. The additional hit is going up by 200 to 6,500. Damage application going down to 72.9. This one's definitely a net loss, not enough gain. Captain's Orders commence. The 9,120 is going to 9,590. PvP application going down 1% to 31.04. This one might be more or less equal again. Very small increase on the first hit on the Temptation of the Sea to 1,395, less than 100 increase. Second hit is going up a bit more by around 200 to 3,700. PvP application going down by 3% roughly, well 2.5. Actually no, 3.5 to 66.49, so there we will probably have a net loss. Raging Spirits, 6,200 instead of 6,100. PvP application on the second hit is going to 7,850, 100% increase roughly. Damage application going down by 1% to 40.76. Rising Wave is going up 100% to 3,554. Actually, it's less than 100, it's 60%. PvP application dropping by roughly 1%, so that might be a net loss. Rippling Waves is going up to 6,899, roughly 100% up. Damage application dropping down by 1% to 40.3, actually 0.7. And I think it's probably Rising Waves, is going up 200% to 7,700 with a PvP application of 35.6, which is roughly a 1% loss. The Awakening also is getting touched upon, similar to the other one in the damage increases, but they have a bit bigger ones. So first off, we have Captain Sortie going up by roughly 200% to 4,500, and the second hit to 6,800. PvP application is dropping by 2% to 36.5. A piercing skill that cuts through the surface of the water. The damage is going up significantly to 6,200, which is roughly a 500% increase. PvP application is dropping by 5% to 53.7. A Slaying Sun damage is going up from 7,700 to 8,300. PvP application is dropping by roughly 4% to 43.9. Crow's Target is going up by roughly 600% to 8,200. PvP application is dropping by 4% roughly to 44.68. Captain's Orders Commence is going up by roughly 200% on the first hit to 9,697. The final hit is going up by 400% to 12,900. The PvP application is dropping down by 1% roughly to 32.2. The killing that splits the earth, damage is going up by 500% to 7,600. PvP application going down by roughly 2% to 42.04. Cell weaving through the wind, damage is going up by 500% roughly to 7,699. And the damage application is going down by 3% roughly to 35.9. Melee combat charge, the damage is going up by roughly 500% to 8,600, and the PvP application is dropping down by 2.6 to 46.09 roughly, and the slashing waves is going up by 300% to 4,800. PvP application is dropping by roughly 3% to 43.5, and grapple vortex is going up from 6,600, 400% to 7,095. PvP application is dropping by roughly 3% to 45.49. Then Sage Succession is getting touched upon. We have the Ator's Retribution going up by almost 900% to 9,400. PvP application is dropping by 4% to 38.6. Space Shatter is going up 600% on the first hit to 5,800, and that is 900% on his second hit to 8,200, and the damage application is dropping from 6% down to 47.8. Ator's Dojo is getting a significant increase of 1,200 to 12,868. The PvP application is dropping only by 2.5% to 25.01. This one might actually be a net positive even in PvP then. We have the Shape Rush going up only by 200% to 3,400 on the 6 hits. PvP application is going down 3% roughly to 43.29. Also, the Shape of the Memory skill will also be adjusted with this. Ator's Energy is going up roughly 1,200% to 14,900% damage, and the damage application is dropping down by only by 3% to 31.95. This again might be actually a net positive. The Great Collapse is going up to 15,700 from 13,600. That is a big increase. The PvP application only dropping by 4% though, to 22.89. And the last hand gesture skill will also be adjusted as it's kind of connected. Then we have the Gateway of the Void, 16,258% damage going up to 18,600. PvP application dropping by only 2.5% to 17.3. Somehow I'm feeling like this might actually be a PvP buff. We'd need to crunch the numbers in detail, but I feel like this might be a small net positive in PvP as well again. Then we have the Illusionary Development going from 9,200 to 10,000% damage pretty much. The PvP application dropping by 3% roughly to 33.3. This also includes the damage for the Illusion Burst. And the Oral Discharge, God, that is a horrible translation, is going up 500% on the first hit to 8,700. The second hit going up by 400 to 5,800. PvP application dropping by roughly 2% to 28.29. Dimensional Compression is going up 300% on the first hit to 3,800, and the second hit as well. The third hit is going up 400% to 5,500 roughly, and the PvP application on the first and second hit is 43.85, down 3%, and the other one is going down by 3% as well to 35.92. Overall, some of these numbers, like, Draconia is supposed to hit hard but hit slow. I'm starting to feel left out with these sort of damage numbers being dropped. That is just crazy, but moving on. We have Seraphim. They fixed an issue where weapons were automatically drawn when not resurrected immediately after death while in condemnation state. Then we have the blue battlefield adjustments to damage dealt to the fortress. They don't like the fact that the fortress is flipping multiple times at the end, so they are increasing the HP of the fortress by 32%, and the damage is being lowered pretty much by almost 50% on the improved Galley. The regular Galley will get a slight increase, but then again, the damage is a lot lower on it. All these small ships seem to be getting a 50% increase, and then we have the Galleon going down by 21%, same for the Panoxion, and the Carrack going down by 10% roughly to by 9.7. Overall, I prefer the flipping over this because it just feels like 50% damage decrease is such a rough hit, but we'll move on. Then we have the blue battlefield adjustment of damage dealt by large ships to the guild galleys, making the guild galleys much, much weaker, and everybody else is going to be doing 24.8% more damage than before. So smaller guilds will definitely be feeling the burn. PA is trying to go for the, oh yeah, we feel sorry for the groups that don't only have the guild galley, but to be honest, this will kill guild galleys so much faster since they already go down pretty quick if you're sitting at the fort, even just for a moment. This is pretty much, I think, the death of a few smaller guilds that will be switching to participation only at this rate. This is a bit dark, but 24.8%, that is a lot of extra damage from, well, Galleons, Panox, and Kharox towards the guild galley. Without an increase of the damage going backwards, it feels a bit out of place, but that is PA's decision. We're going to have to live with it. Then we have the Black Shrine Calamity 2 to 7 rewards. So we see a reward in the lower calamities, depending on where you land. Pretty much, I think this is the Calamity 2, Calamity 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the higher up you go in the Calamity, and you obviously get certain rankings, you will be able to get a bit of Essence of Dawn, either at a chance or Essence of Dawn in gold bars. This should hopefully increase your rewards across the board. Also, the Essence Dawn chests will be rewarded. I believe this is the party boss. Not quite sure on what the yellow C would be, if this is a specific one. But overall, it seems to be added to the, well, Hangwei hard mode overall. One Essence of Dawn chest will be added to the hunting chests, which will be difficulty awarded. This should bring in a little bit more of the Essences of Dawn, stabilizing the damage for PvP. Then we have the Edania Hunting ground improvements. So they were talking about the improvements on Zephyros. Collision detection will be added for Beelzebub. That is quite nice. Beelzebub will now also definitely perform a howling attack before jumping. This might actually increase the, well, time to kill, decrease the time to kill for a few classes. The following improvements have also been made to Tenebrown. The movement speed of the monsters, of pretty much all of them, is being increased by 1.16 or 1.4 times. Then they're making some improvements on Orbita Castle. The Tomb Guardian Colossus has been improved so it moves to a close range when summoned. The following improvements have also been made to Nymphomare. The health of the Coral Naga Trickster and Watcher has been reduced by 10% roughly, and the appearance location of the Dreamfish has been designated as one place, so I'm guessing it won't be doing the triangle thing anymore. In the Pit of Undying, we have the Kharoxia difficulty improvements, so Kharoxia will now be affected by more CCs instead of just knockback and float. She will now be affected by knockdown, bound, stagger, or stun. Here we can see the Awakened Ranger, the stun effect of the Tremor of Nature being applied. Then we also have Ascendra being touched upon in the same way. So the summoner, the summoned HP has been increased by 50% compared to before. It has also improved that the gimmick is performed first when the HP drops below a certain level. The activation conditions for the HP recovery pattern will be changed. So before it was 50% or less, and now it's 20% or less. And the summoner has been improved so that an invincibility effect is applied while moving to perform a gimmick. Then we have a small change in the location of ocean stalkers. So some ocean stalkers near Ilia spawn too close to the safe zone, causing players to fire at them from within the safe zone. Since cannon fire from within the safe zone does not deal damage, they've relocated them. The locations of the hungry sea monsters and creatures around Ilia have been changed, so here we can see them pretty much moving most of them out a little bit. Accordingly, the target location for some quests will also be changed to Daily Wanting Starving Marine Life and the Hungry Ocean Stalker. And there was an issue with the Hungry Heku being awkwardly placed in a specific location. This has also been fixed. Then we have mole appearance and revenue improvements. So improvements have been made so that a speech bubble is displayed immediately after movement, making it easier to find a mole that has moved. The range at which moles the mole recognizes and starts running away when an adventurer approaches has been reduced by 28.5%, and the distance it runs away has also been reduced by 30. The time from when the appearance notification is displayed and until the mole appears has been reduced by another 2 seconds. The pillar of light that appears when it emerges has been improved to be exposed according to the mole's location, and the phenomenon where it was impossible to hit for a certain period of time after appearance has been changed, so now the mole can be hit from the moment it reveals its body above ground, and the number of blush leaves obtained from moles has been increased, so the hungry one will give 733% more, the cod red or slowpoke mole will give 335% more, the greedy ones 173.6, the lost 192.5, and the troublemaker, so the Pitapat mole, will give 135.7 compared to before. Then another small change, the guard crush effect from the Dark Rift bosses Red Nose, Dastardly Beg, Muskin, and Ferret have been removed, and the summoning pattern for the Wilderness Golem in the guild boss Mokulis has been adjusted so it will only happen once. Quests and Knowledge, a quest has been added to obtain additional sea monster essences needed for the expansion of the inferior trading ships or destroyers, so that the Galley and Galleon, not the Galleon, Caravel and Caravel and Frigate. If you complete these quests along with the Ovia Academy sailing trading lessons, you will be able to get 100 sea monster extracts. Here we can see the completion conditions. The 6 Hekaroos that come down from the ocean, young sea kings that came down, and the Hekaroo who come down from the ocean left of Koid Islands. So here we can see the quest area guides. Also, further, some improvements have been made so you can acquire deleted knowledge related to guild items. So they've been added to Duncan, the guild supply manager in Belay Village, or will be added. You'll be able to get the knowledge for all of these items. And then finally, we have fixes and changes, not too many this time. The content regarding the source and acquisition for the knowledge of Memories of Calphion's Imperial Auction House 1 and 2 have been changed. The issue where the knowledge image of Hanipu, the barter NPC of Arahaza, was displayed awkwardly has been fixed. The unnatural positioning issue when moving a character to the next base has been improved at Aterian, Orbita, and Zephyros. They also fixed an issue where the Calphion journal category was displayed as incomplete if the user possessed the Blood Altar knowledge prior to the renewal. They also fixed an issue where the icon for cultivating my own small farm quest was not displayed. Fixed some issues where the Sweet Fireplace and Frostwood Fireplace could not be placed in a specific area on the second floor of Heidel 9.3. That is extremely specific. The issue where the only non-stacked material was included when selecting a processing formula containing a non-stacked in a recently successful processing has been fixed. Then there was an issue where a message appeared stating that using the exchange could yield more profit when selling trade goods, and they fixed an issue where the time limit could not be checked in the tanning minigame. And as the World Exchange has concluded, the font applied for language support between exchange countries has been changed back to the original, and on gamepad the shortcut key for opening the trading warehouse and the warehouse has been changed from Y to RTX. With that, we go into the TLDR. Great knowledge. It's always nice to be able to get that through quests if it's removed. Otherwise, more quests. The moles is very nice. The ocean stalker's moving. It's necessary. Ascendra getting easier. I know a few people don't like her. Kharoxia, I do like this change. It makes her just a bit easier. Edania Hunting ground changes, especially the Zephyros one, I'm looking forward to. The others do seem quite nice, making it a bit easier as well. The Essence of Dawn being added to the group bosses, nice little increase on profit. Otherwise, Calamity 2 to 7, giving extra rewards to people. You know, being able to get a few Essences of Dawn a week might be nice for those mid-tier players. Definitely a nice improvement. With the damage, like I said, it feels a bit much. 25% more damage, pretty much. Galleons are going to go down like crazy. Or galleys, sorry, not galleons. Pretty much the big guilds are now going to be dominating. 20-man guilds are going to be the ones taking care of the ocean. With this much extra damage and the amount of people that are focus firing, this is definitely going to be an issue. Otherwise, the damage decrease against the fort. They could have left this. They could have just done the change on the damage to the galleys, allowing you to get rid of them, and kept the damage, because at that point it would have been much more viable. In combination, this feels way too much of a hit for those small to mid-tier size guilds, making it a lot harder to actually participate in the content. In conjunction, I mean, they could have done either or. They could have done the HP increase and damage reduction, or this one. Both in conjunction just feels a bit too harsh, but it's probably going to be moved up and down. But it could also be that this has just been the posts from large guilds complaining that some small guilds are actually managing a snipe occasionally. Who knows what it is. Then we have the changes on Sage. Like I said, some of these damage numbers, I'm starting to feel left out as a Draconia that's supposed to hit hard. I don't have a single skill that does 18,600 damage. Like, especially 3 skills that, or pretty much 5 skills that do 10,000 plus. It feels a bit crazy, especially knowing that Succession has his cooldown reset. But then again, he has some pretty long cooldowns. Could be nice, might make a Succession Sage more viable in the grind. Corsair Awakening and Succession, very small increases across the board. I do feel like Succession could have probably used a bit more. I know Raise Your Chicken is probably going to be happy about these changes, or at least slightly happy. But we're going to have to see if that is enough. A bit surprised that it's only 2 classes effectively, but we're going to see what happens with that. And with that, I wish you the absolute best of luck, and I'll hopefully see you around.